now call together the Planning Commission meeting regular session agenda for Tuesday, November 1st, 2016. Roll call, please.
Buckler is here.
Strand here.
Strube here.
McCoy here.
Salad.
Costa.
We're missing Dan. Okay. Look at the record. Show the commissioners, clerk, it's not with us this evening. Okay. Can we all stand for a moment of silence and pledge allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Libby, do we have any public comment?
No. You did say.
Any changes to the agenda? Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as written?
So moved.
Second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Minutes? Any feedback on the minutes? Okay. We have a motion to accept the minutes as written?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. So carried. Reports.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, just by way of a document correction, I was so excited at the potential of the town council voting to set a public hearing date. You'll notice on my staff report that the word voted is actually highlighted in yellow. That should have been unhighlighted, but I was, with great anticipation. So, yes, this 6th of December Tuesday meeting, the pensions regular Tuesday meeting will be a joint public hearing on the comprehensive plan.
Outstanding. Good.
Otherwise, nothing to add. I just want to bring your attention to two things. One is number 4. In spite of much anticipation and discussion, speculation, the town has not received any applications for Harbor or anyone else to do any consideration of any development in the Harbor District or across the way at the industrial site. So we're not there yet. The property owner did submit some demolition permits. That's working its way through the building department, and that's to demolish 2 of the 3 buildings and that little sort of cinder block blockhouse that's on the Cunningham property, former Cunningham property. But nothing by way of new development, just demo for right now, demo and site clearing. And then the other thing is the attachment is the, and I know it shows large, and there's great detail in it. It's the post sand placement beach survey. So again, if there's any interest or consideration of dune heights, width of beach, depth of sand relative to mean low water, that's what all those numbers mean. And long story short, this survey from September of this year compared to the survey of April of last year shows that the dunes are in fact growing, not at a dizzying height, but along Bay Avenue at a rate of about a foot a year. And at the south end there, where it sort of runs perpendicular to the fishing pier, at about 3 feet a year. So there's a lot of migration of sand going on.
So up against the rocks.
Wow. That's all.
Are they the rocks that are parallel to the boardwalk? I'm sorry, the fishing pier?
Yeah. Yeah, that's grown.
3 feet a year?
Yeah. Makes sense to me with all the wind being there.
That's all we do.
Yeah, nobody's sort of come up through a pile of it. Even the new sand on the north end, if you go up there at the street, the sand fences did their job, but they're not planting the grass until the 15th. So,
15th of what?
November, at least. Got pushed back 2 weeks. So Santa's doing what it did, like I thought it was gonna do, same thing it did last year. Pilot across the river.
Huh?
That's just the way it's in. Let's put a second year's somehow. It's gonna do that until that little dune builds up a little bit to the grass section. Because down towards Ferguson's and Ann Margaret's, it's not that bad.
Is 3 feet a year alarming?
And as much as we've got 2015 and 2016 data, I don't know, but just the visual of it, when we hear the comments about the folks who live at the south end of Bay Avenue having no view of the water anymore, that's not just an insignificant size dune, that's a 19th of dune. And a year ago, it was roughly 17 feet and change. So. It's a lot.
More fun protected. There you go.
Any questions on the report?
Great information.
Moving on to old business. We got any comments and proposed revisions on the draft comprehensive plan?
We did, and now in the interest of letting everyone know, I can't open the old report that has the comp plan file in it. So if anybody's got it open, please let me know because I can't open it. But so maybe we'll just do as best we can with what we've got in front of me because I, to be honest with you, I don't have page 39 committed to memory.
Was that one on the website?
Yeah, I can't get the website. It should have been two months ago's staff, or planning commission agenda pack. I think we had it for,
That, the September agenda packet's still in Dropbox.
I can't open it.
Okay, I'm trying right now.
I was having this, I was having this in around the Dropbox. So, but yes, Mr. Chairman, we did receive comment from two council members and the mayor who gave, again, from their perspectives, the particular sections that they have suggestions on or questions about. The first one that's attached is Councilman Banning, who's talking about the historic overlay district at Round 84. And then the other one was Steve Minix submitted his pages, and then the mayor submitted his yesterday. So I sent those out previously in an email. I mean, if it's helpful, I can go over the item specifics that are in my staff report. And again, if we're all struggling with getting it open, it's not making it a little longer now.
I don't even see our agenda for September in here.
It's gonna be in August.
Yeah, it's August.
You got 8.6 megs,
Yeah.
dead giveaways, so. Oh, it's
You're all good? I think it's safe to say that revisions come in content, and then also come as far as typos, wording, and formatting. So I've got a combination of both. I'm not happy to hear from anyone else.
I didn't see anything from August.
Yeah, it's the August.
I go from September to 2012.
And are you in your Dropbox?
I'm in, yeah, I'm in Dropbox.
Okay, when you go to Dropbox on the bottom, hit File. That organizes it by board. At the very bottom of your screen, it'll say Recent, File, and some other things. Hit File.
I did that.
Okay, and then go to Planning Commission.
That's all the, that's,
And then
Ah,
you should see
there's
others.
August, thank you.
yeah, it's not, there's nothing in there.
Yeah, I see a bunch of other stuff,
I think
but not the comp plan.
That's what he's on.
Yeah, it's a bunch of other stuff.
Thank you, Libby.
Sorry.
You're talking about what Steve said before?
No,
Revised,
the regular, yeah, regular revised.
This the revised that he marked up?
It is a revised and marked up. I guess what the document for all 66 pages in it, I think it's out.
Who would that be under this document?
This is good. Does this only have the pages that he?
that's all Steve's,
Okay. There isn't one. How about on the website? Is there
That's
a
right.
comp plan on the website?
Yes,
Comprehensive plan adopted 6/11/2009.
there should be a draft.
And on the comprehensive plan page, it's, as we go through meetings, I've been putting the most recent one on there. If you go to the comp plan page, it's under government plan,
Yep.
department planning. But I'm trying to find it, on her.
Planning commission bylaws. See it.
Sometimes paper too many here.
Conceptual master plan.
No, it's under document, it's under government departments, planning, not doc center, it's under government departments, it's on the planning department page.
And it's under 2014 comprehensive plan review. And I'm going down, draft comp plan from March. And I want to open it in. Open it in.
Is that what it was?
Here it is.
Okay.
No, I was walking, sorry.
I was able to get it.
Can you dump it in the Dropbox for us?
Where
I
is it?
don't think it'll let me save it into Dropbox from
I got it.
before. And then if you open it up, and if you click on the top left, it'll say open in. It'll come up really quickly. If you hit open in, it'll give you the chance to
This is
open it up and I annotate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Where do you say it?
Okay, you got it in off of the website from the March?
Well, I just went to the comp plan and that's what came up.
Yeah, but mine still says 2000.
It's the 2014 comprehensive plan review. Page is what you want.
Okay, so you hit online planning files and it has comp plan.
No.
No.
You
Where?
go, once you get to the Cape Charles website, hit government.
Oh, hit the,
Right.
Government, and
Right.
drop down to department,
yeah,
planning and zoning,
right,
and then the first one is
Okay.
2014
All right, got
comprehensive
it.
plan review.
okay, and then which one is,
Scroll down to the bottom of that page, and it'll say March, whatever date it was in
Okay.
2016,
hit the
and
draft comp plan?
draft comp plan, that's the most recent one.
Sorry, what was the link after departments?
Departments,
Okay.
planning and zoning,
Got
I got it.
Okay.
and then you click that.
Fat fingers.
Okay.
So
Which date is the bottom one, March 1st?
this is got,
Yeah, March of 2016, I think, yeah.
got it.
2014 comp plan, okay.
Yeah.
Now,
And then, once that opens up, if you click on the top left hand of the document, it'll come up, say, open in. And then you can click on that, and you can open it up into iAnnotate, so you can go back and forth from your agenda package to that. And you don't have to worry about the internet.
Open in iBooks.
You can do iBooks as well, but with that, you're going to be switching to different apps.
Open in what?
Open in iAnnotate. It'll say IA.
Oh, it's in there more, that's why.
Mine,
Hit the
Oh,
upper
it's-
left.
I
Yeah,
did.
Okay, it's in-
I did.
It's not in more on mine, it just comes up IA.
You must have updated yourself.
Maybe.
Mine's on the more on the other side.
Okay.
I got it, mine's
upper left,
Yeah, upper left, if
Oh,
you just,
what?
of the actual document when it opens up.
Yeah, it says more.
That's what you're asking.
Okay,
That-
I see a bunch of links in here, but I have no idea which one to click.
You don't have one that's, it's red with a white IA in it?
Okay, and what do you say it is? Copy that, yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Comp plan?
got it.
You should.
There we go, okay, now, more,
Got
right.
it?
More.
You're doing two.
More. Save to Dropbox.
But if you open it up in Dropbox, you're gonna be
No.
looking at it over the internet, and if we have a problem
Oh,
with the internet,
got it, okay.
that's why I recommend you either put it into Adobe PDF or IA, iAnnotate.
So, is it the camp, this would go down.
I had more.
There it is. Go this way, on the middle bar.
This one on the bottom.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Got it, okay. Thank you.
And then open up opinions.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you can-
And that's,
Can you,
and then,
Libby, can you add a to-do for yourself to put that in Dropbox?
yes,
Some other time?
I will.
Thank you.
I have the adopted version from 2009 in there, but not the one that we've been working on.
Got it.
And that one.
No problem. No problem. Okay.
So where do we go now?
Okay. How about this, some overview of the document, now that we've all had a chance to take a look at it again. We have some page numbering miscues. Page 49 is missing, as is page 66. So the revised document will at least have the pagination sequential.
Okay.
Also, there's an inconsistency in footnoting. In some places we have Roman numerals as footnotes, in others we have Arabic numbers. That'll be standardized with Arabic numbers.
Okay.
And I suppose we all went across the section that was completely underlined, and it needs to be ununderlined. So those are just sort of the formatting. There are some occasional typos here and there as well.
Could you do me, okay.
Yes.
On page 28,
Okay.
the comprehensive plan amendments are available online at www.kcharles.org. Could you put some more detail in there to take people directly to the point where those are, as opposed to
Absolutely.
people wandering through and, where is it now? Like we just did?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
You want to see it?
Right, yes, I do. I want us to be able to go punch and raise it up.
I'll go through my staff report, and again, this is what I picked up, so
Okay.
please, add as we go along, and again, the best way to do this is just sequentially. Page 9, first sentence, the town, again, this was brought up by Councilman Bennett. Quote, the town has experienced periods of growth and decline, however, freight passage continues to be, to this day, and is one of the few operations of its kind in the United States, close quote. No longer accurate, strike the entire sentence. Page 11, first full paragraph, 9th line down. There's some underlining in there about encourage development. Again, that's the formatting thing. Page 17, section Roman numeral 3.
What was this, what was it, what is his recommendation on that one?
Oh, well, I was going to move the underlining.
No,
The whole,
should encourage what, the previous one?
oh, the town has experienced periods of growth, strike the entire sentence, since that's no longer an accurate statement about freight passage.
Then you said on page 11.
Oh, the first full paragraph,
Right.
ninth line down.
Right.
There's an encourage development and quote in there that
Yeah.
has an errant underline.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is a formatting thing.
Okay, got it.
Some of this is just pedantic, but it's got to get done. We've also got an errant underlining on page 17, section Roman numeral 3, 2.13, where we've got civic capital in quotes again with an errant underline. Page 21, the top right box, the word include is actually includes, so that should strike an S. Page 36, railroads is plural. We can strike the plural S. And then page 39, we're striking in another plural S. Fifth line down, a certain demographics, which should be a certain demographic.
This should be easier.
On a more substantive side, page 41, section 3, Roman numeral 3B-5-7, the seventh line down, it gets into discussions about events and festivals, and it begins to enumerate a few of them. Not knowing what will be happening and what won't in the next 5 years, that's probably best left to Jen Lewis's monthly calendar. End the sentence with events and festivals. And deleting such as tall ships and
Lesson of the fleet.
lesson of the fleet, which may or may not continue. Also on page 41, the last bullet point is not a line, formatting thing, so that should be a line.
Sorry?
Page 41, the
Yeah.
last bullet point.
Well,
Strategy.
I must be looking through.
it must be because
I only
this
have
is
page
not a
49.
line as per that, but I don't see.
That's where the.
Okay.
It's basically with the upper H, the V6 recommendations. Yeah, that's all.
This we're going back.
Yeah, no, I guess that's back at that.
And then back to the original.
Oh, here?
Just like six,
Yeah,
six,
it should be right.
It looks like there's an extra tab.
Yeah,
Four bullet points.
I think strategy, the problem is this is personal thing. Strategy should be flush to left, I guess.
Needs to be moved down to page 42.
Yeah, because if you look down.
There we go.
Yeah, if you look at 42,
Page
it
42.
shows.
I don't have one for you
Oh.
That's why it's important we get this on Dropbox, so everybody's got this in
You
copy.
have a page 42 on yours?
I got, the highest page number I got on mine is 29.
Maybe it has a lower here.
Well, or maybe I clicked the wrong link.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Again, much like consistency of Roman numeral of footnotes, we'll keep the bullets aligned with a consistent margin.
You'll see strategy. Same thing.
On the substantive side, page 42, fifth paragraph, and again, if I'm not mistaken, this was suggested by Councilman Bennett. The Federal Harbor Channel Dredging Project concluded in September 2016. That would be a revision to a sentence that still projects it into the future. And then
What page is that?
42, section
No.
Roman numeral 3.
Actually 43 on the top of the packet.
Yeah,
43.
43.
Okay.
You must have been going up the original.
Anyway, section 3C,
Mhm.
fifth paragraph. As currently written, it talks about the dredge project, either
Mhm.
projected or undergoing or is completed. So that sentence should be revised to say the harbor, the Federal Harbor and Channel dredging project concluded in September of 2016. Close quotes. And then the next sentence, where there's again some sort of future expectation of the harbor access road, the 184 improvements, that sentence should be revised to say, in September 2016, construction began for a new, more direct road from the industrial area near Bayshore Concrete to Route 184. And so those take those, the current text, which speaks about these things in the future, and in the case of the harbor dredging, concludes it. In the case of the 184 route, speaks to it as ongoing. Section 3D1, the second sentence.
B or D?
D is in
D,
dog,
sorry,
D1. Second sentence, and it's going on about all these uses in the harbor. It was suggested that industrial, port, and warehousing facilities be included amongst that enumeration of uses in the harbor. So that'll be included before commercial fishing and recreation boats. Page, well, what I've got is 51, section 3D2, third and fourth paragraph, and all those bullet points removing the underlining. The whole section is just underlined. This isn't revised, but this is to be revised, because this is what needs to be considered. Section 3D4, language does not include reference to the connection between Route 84 and the new industrial access road going to Bayshore Concrete. Language should be included stating that the town and county will work together to ensure that compatible county zoning uses apply to parcels along the town entrance corridors off of 13.
So that should be a bullet?
That should be a declarative sentence, which I will draft. But it's the general gist that with the new harbor access road, the improvements to 184, and again, that's become live this summer. So from August of 2013 to this past spring, when most of this was done, that was still a conceptual project. It's a tangible project now. So the discussion of that should be that the town and the county will work towards compatible uses, compatible land uses. That still is inclusive in the corridor, the town entrance corridor. Basically from Bayshore Concrete to Highway 13. Actually, none of it. It's just to behind the Upland side.
Yeah, it's the, how much is, the entrance is in the town.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, none of the new.
No, I
roads.
thought it was in the county, because the end of the town lot is the end of the reliable,
Right.
the triangle. It's just the entrance, as soon as you cross over the tree line, that field behind it, so it's like, I don't know, 100 feet?
It's mostly county,
Yeah.
because even going across the field and onto Cape Charles Road.
Yeah, no, that's all town property.
Yeah.
The railroad.
The tree line is, I think, the lot line. I mean, it's like 150 feet or something, that's county, that entrance to the new bypass.
It's supposed to be 2019.
Something, it's been brought up multiple times about eventacular, the status of eventacular. This is section 3E, 3.7, where we get into all of the partnerships.
Yeah.
And eventacular is, my understanding is that it is not a defunct, but it is a dormant organization. It's been requested that it be removed from the list of partners, and I'm say that any of the other partners enumerated in the document will be vibrant for the totality of the term that this document is in effect. So you can strike one if it's no longer the case, but there's nothing to say that every year we're striking those organizations or partners that sort of drift off.
I don't have an issue with leaving it there.
Oh, the dormant is the reason for it to be there.
Who gets to determine what is dormant? How do we be consistent about that? How do we protect ourselves legally?
So it says here that they also were responsible for
Okay, John.
Eastern Shore,
We're open
Eastern
to
Shore
justice.
Birding Wildlife Festival, just add.
Yeah, but that's a whole other organization.
Yeah,
Well,
this year is, yeah.
So, you know,
It's a new organization.
Go ahead, John.
I'm currently the treasurer of Eastern Shore Impact Code, and it is currently dormant. It is still a registered 501c3, and no decision has been made what it was going to be doing in the next 6 months. I suspect before this final revision is done, I'm hopeful by the end of the year we'll know. But as of right now, it's still viable.
Let's do this. Let's put an agenda item for January and come back and revisit that point. Because if it's not viable at that point, then we can go from
I
there.
agree with that.
I don't want to lose the thought. Thanks, John.
we got a joint planning meeting next month on this.
Right, on December 6th. Well, which town is still viable.
No, I understand.
For right now,
What we may want to do is put a stake in the calendar for the planning commission to validate all their organizations.
Yeah, it's almost the same thing as the business association, it's been dormant for a year. I mean, it's still there, but,
Yeah.
and that's going to kind of come back to life, maybe. Supposed to.
We probably should do this on September 1st.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So what are we saying we're going to do?
We'll talk about it until after the first,
Okay.
we'll talk about it after the first of the year.
I'll leave it in the text.
Okay.
All right, okay. Section 4, council priorities. As I mentioned, the council priority section hasn't been updated since June of 2009. Council likewise hasn't removed some of the items that it considers no longer priorities from the list. So the list is as it was adopted in June of 2009. What I did do was go to at council direction to find some other priorities to discuss. I went to the document and found those sections in the document that spoke to specific priorities. And these were the 7 additional ones that I found. Protecting open space is a priority, as stated on page 7. Pedestrian activity is about, and by that, extension of the walkability of the community. Pedestrian activity is of the highest priority. The next one is high priority on protecting the town's unique and historic small town character, page 27. Next priority in the document, page 40, develop an economic priority where decisions are made first and foremost with economic vibrancy as a goal. Page 41, maintaining existing opportunity and improving opportunity for residents as a priority. That's relative to housing. The next priority, page 43 in the document, Bay Avenue is a priority for complete street improvements. And then page 43 was the last priority, increased parking in the vicinity of the harbor should be addressed as the next priority. So all of those items are at least articulated as priorities in the document. So I feel comfortable saying that's a list of priorities.
Yeah.
That it's not a rank order, it's a sequential order. And I don't know that we do discussion, I don't know that we do the council a favor by right ordering anything.
I would just stick the bullet points to it and just leave it at that, yeah.
Great.
Because otherwise it's just an issue with drama.
You'll turn around, we'll probably just turn around your rate.
Yeah.
The other thing, practically speaking, the capital improvement plan typically serves as a de facto articulation of council priorities, or articulating council priorities.
Yep.
Yeah, there's the commitment to do it and put some money behind it.
Right.
So, you know, if section 4 is fine.
We have that in here.
Yeah, right.
You could also tell them that, hey, you know, if we can't come to an agreement, just delete the town council priorities, and we've got their capital improvement plan in there. That's their priorities.
I agree with that.
Because that's almost every comp plan is supposed to have capital improvement.
The only difference is
Yeah.
The articulation of the priorities. Well, next step in the plan is execution.
Well, that one quicker than I thought it would. All right, next we get into some language about the harbor and the whole of the harbor district as it, again, particularly pertains to the recent rezoning, map amendment and rezoning of the parcel on the south side of the harbor. Section 3, 2.1.2, page 17, reads as follows. The Cape Charles Harbor Area Conceptual Master Plan and Design Guidelines serves as an overall guide to the future development and redevelopment of the area. Any change in the zoning classification in this area should result in the area becoming harbor mixed use. The town intends to pursue a connection between Mason Avenue and the harbor and increase parking in the area as redevelopment occurs and land uses shift. Close quotes. That's the entire paragraph. Staff proposed that this paragraph be struck in its entirety for several reasons. First, the conceptual master plan and design guidelines document is over 10 years old, and it works from a number of untested assumptions about local economies, the availability of funds for public investment, and demographics. Parenthetically, but other than that. Second, the town harbor has an industrial and port history, not a history of retail shops and multifamily residential. And then you have to deal with reality at some point. Third, redevelopment hasn't happened.
Okay.
And it hasn't occurred, and land uses have shifted. To that extent, it becomes, that paragraph becomes a little less easy to justify about the future of the harbor when, we haven't had the type of mixed-use development happen. And in fact, just recently, we parcel went to industrial rezoning rather than retail. For all sorts of practical purposes.
Now, it's 20 acres in that action, right? Was,
Yeah, ballpark, yeah.
now, this refers to maybe obsolete over 160 acres.
That's all of the yacht site, including their 80-acre lot that currently is
Okay.
80,
tree line.
isn't it 80, 34? There's one to the west.
Yeah, and then there's all the little 19, 20, 17, 12, all those start adding up to.
That's quite a compliment.
Is that?
I think it's close to, I think it was 143, something like that, 140.
They get their other piece as part of harbor too.
Okay. Sure. Joe wants to say something.
Go ahead, Joe.
Can I point out something from a historical point of view?
Sure.
The sentence about any change in zoning classification in this area should result in this area becoming harbor mixed use was specifically put into the comp plan, and maybe more than one place, in the eventuality that the railroad property no longer fell under federal control, which it now does. I believe the zoning ordinance says anything that changes has to go into residential. And this was to say, in the harbor area, it goes into harbor district. That was, I think that's the only reason we put it in there in the past, just to say, this is where it needs to go. Just so you know.
There could be a potential of that happening. Good. Dredge is running, not the, what's that thing called, the barge? It's not operational anymore. From Dickey's standpoint, or Casat Railroad, whatever their name is, they don't plan on using that barge anymore. So the potential of that railroad could be good, who knows, they might decide to sell it.
Don't they that Bayshore still ship stuff out by barge, right?
Not that
Not
way.
anymore? But
Stop being used anymore. I think I one since they brought the gun from Missouri here. The last time I think ran it was 3 years ago.
more than that, 5 years ago.
It was 5. Jeez. So that's the last time I think ran it. Came back. I think it's sitting for 5 years now. There's a potential.
Moving forward, section 3A.5.2 reads as follows, quote, "The undeveloped land, private and public, around Cape Charles Harbor has been approved for development. Hotels on the water, restaurants, and commercial locations with harborfront walkways, multifamily dwellings will complete a major portion of the harbor's edge. A new mega yacht facility of over 160 acres and additional commercial slips will make up the additional current and future development. These developments are Cape Charles Yacht Center and the Town Harbor." Close quote. Staff proposes striking the second and third sentences and replacing them with the language that's found in the Harbor Mixed Use section, section 3.5. That box states, quote, "Land uses in this category should be mixed, including resort and tourism-related retail, waterfront industrial and employment, associated residence, and accessory uses, and should support the existing harbor and railroad uses." Again, it allows for, well, it integrates the harbor mixed use language from one section into talk with the harbor in another section, so at least it reconciles some language, and it gets out of the 2006 aspirational hotels on the waterfront, restaurants, and commercial. I don't think any of us are opposed to that. It isn't happening.
Right.
Do we want to, okay, that makes sense. My only concern is, Councilman Bennett made a specific comment that the document wasn't forward-looking enough, and we're starting to pull back from that viewpoint. We need to be careful, because he's one of the members that has to approve this.
I understand.
I'm not suggesting it's wrong, I'm just be aware, that's all.
Fair enough. I think when we look at land uses in this category should be mixed is again, a future conditional perhaps. What should it be? It should be this, should be mixed and include resort and tourism related retail, waterfront industrial and employment.
Well, it gives people more choices, is really what it does, and that's the way to sell it.
It kind of does.
Yep.
And thank you, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate that.
No problem.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough, Steve. Thank you.
There is a mix, didn't that one building, the first building that we approved, for the yacht center, their one structure, that's sort of mixed use.
Yeah.
It was going to be commercial downstairs, and for the people that did the commercial to live upstairs.
Yeah.
So
It's not an ambitious scale, but it is a mixed use.
Right.
Commercial and residential.
Right.
As far as discussion is concerned, you've got the attachments with the individual recommendations that have been received. And again, I've got some from the mayor. I'm happy to go over his on an individual basis. There was, again, something he categorized with the mayor's interest in, especially the extension of the grid, and how Bay Creek was allowed to not be the grid. Now, the PUD handles all that. There's really no reference in the comp plan to Bay Creek's development pattern and the PUD itself. So that's deserving of some language somewhere. I think I'll find an appropriate home for that language. This way, when we talk about the extension of the grid, I think that's typically understood to be along what's currently railroad property. And if the hump disappears or we get that grade crossings at Fig or somewhere, Nectarine, that the grid is extended that way.
What was,
And we talked about that years ago, didn't we?
what was,
For future looking.
Yeah, view shed or continuation of the roads. South.
We talked about viewshed for a while, yes, yes. That was more like what people see coming in off of 13, coming down Stone Road, basically.
Viewscape.
Yep. Okay.
The mayor also has some, and then one of the things specifically to look at is what he's got on page 29, where you've got, which is the goals section. I think it's 28, on page 28, where the goals section begins, the core plan goals. And that it's less for the comprehensive plan, but certainly something for the planning commission, cooperatively to work with the council or to propose to the council. Just some specifics about those goals, especially as it pertains to status and the reporting from staff to the commission on the status of some of these goals. Because right now what we've got is no check mechanism. There's no accountability mechanism written in the document.
Okay.
The mayor would like to see that formalized.
Okay, that's fair.
It's perhaps not, and he and I had this conversation, it's perhaps best not formalized in the text, but formalized in the process.
Yep.
I put it out in annual report every year to the planning commission. It can be better. It can say more.
Okay.
So if that is something that makes sense, that may be a reporting mechanism, an accountability mechanism. How are we doing on some of these goals? Well, at least on this goal, back to the planning commission, here's the report on it.
Okay, that's fair.
Because otherwise we'll never end this document.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Because every one of those goals, some of which are very commendable,
Yep.
and try to put a specific plan or status on it. And he and I had this conversation, which was fine. Simple matter, simple question he asked on page 38, where we talk about the future dredging of the harbor to a depth of 35 feet. He wanted to know what's the current depth, because at 35 feet, well, and again, from the Corps of Engineers, it's the harbor of refuge is 7 feet, and the Cape Charles Harbor and Cherrystown Channel is 18 feet. So the goal of 35 feet is within a context. So what's aspiration about 35 feet? Well, we've got 18 now. So that's fair enough.
does he understand 35 feet?
Yep.
Bigger barges.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The question of the web portal, I'm sorry.
How deep does it need to be for the project that is starting to actually happen?
It seems to be fine for right now.
18?
Yeah, for it's for the big gas don't draw that much.
The big what?
The big super gas for the new industrial.
Mhm.
But it's for the basically helping Bay Shore Concrete to be more competitive with bigger projects.
Got it.
It's one of the things, and then now with the new industrial, it could be, future use of barges with larger loads. We're trying to help that project along.
And it's 35 feet deep enough?
Yeah. For the, what do they call them, the super barges, or whatever they call it? I think it's-
I think they were kind of like a mini barge kind of.
Yeah, it's a mini barge, not the gigantic, massive ones, but.
Sorry.
you gotta have two, for the Corps of Engineers to do that, you have to have two industrial entities. And they quoted us as only having one, which was Bay Shore. But with this yacht center coming in, that could constitute the second one.
The second one. Then you have to be 35 feet to have that?
No, you can apply for
You
it.
could apply for it, and the Corps of Engineers makes the determination.
Just some discussion of on page 40, the web portal, and the web portal, what exactly serves as the web portal. We've got the Cape Charles by the Bay, which is a tourist web portal. Is there another opportunity to, Mayor inquired, is there another opportunity to have an economic development web portal separate in the state, which would be also tied to the economic development director and the Main Street program? If you look at the complement now, there's no mention of the word Main Street program anyway. And again, it's still in flux and development, but certainly something that can be worked into the document as a document that looks forward. Ideally in the next couple of months to get Main Street up and going.
Near development, yeah.
So, I will work a section in there that sort of ties those together and speaks to Main Street. But without getting into too much detail about Main Street, because they need to develop their own programs.
Right, right. And that continuity has come from now.
Yeah.
Bridget?
Mayor, I had a question. I know Elaine sat here and answered that question, and I can't for the life of me remember it. And we both kind of stumbled in the office today thinking about it. Is the PSA still in existence? And does Cape Charles still have a representative to it? And I have no idea. It should be Bob Panic, but I don't know that anymore.
It should be Bob Panic, and then there's
I
Sean.
don't believe they ever
Yeah.
stopped it.
They'll stop it.
They
And just-
didn't
They've been dormant on that.
Yeah, 'cause Sean Abrams on it from, he's one of them, what's the other one? There's
Randall Vaughn,
Randall.
Larry Vaughn, wait, no,
There was another citizen, I'm trying, was it, no, it wasn't JT Hall, yeah, he's NASA Watch. So yeah, NASA Watch Chair in Cape Charles. I think that's right. Yeah, I think they're still alive.
That should be on the environment.
It's just, they've been tabled by the Board of Supervisors. Willie tabled it. He never brought it back up, the new ones.
I think the last zoning change kind of took the.
No, yeah, just before the elections, they tabled it and they have not brought it back to life, if I remember correctly. They tabled the whole PSA, what do you call it? Them going out and doing any more work.
Is it reasonable to leave in the document until we know conclusively?
It still exists. It's in dormant. They could resurrect themselves if we probably do that.
That's at the Board of Supervisors. I'd say leave it in.
Didn't meet with a lot of enthusiasm
No kidding.
by a lot of people.
Well, it was the approach, it's the approach they were taking, it wasn't listening to the land.
Bob's another one that baptism of fire. Right.
Yes,
See, I think it really kind of died when Randall got on.
Yeah, and
So,
there was talk for all sorts of things that never happened, so.
well, I think the last thing the town had anything to do was the last proposal on what they wanted to pay, we sent them and what they came back with. It's like, nah, no thanks.
So when was
they
that?
wanted it for free.
Well.
Free go.
Cost.
Sell the water.
Well, and the cost for the sewage. Which doesn't do the taxpayers in the town very much good.
Anything else in the complaint before we move on?
Councilman Bennett's comments wants to know if we're gonna have a new map ready, and the answer is we will have a map that reflects the, change, to the Cunningham property being rezoned, and affixes the old Kent, the property adjacent to Kenkwell property, which was rezoned from RE to R3, 8 years ago, and hasn't shown up on the map as being R3. So those will be the two parcels. Now, I am anticipating, if you believe what you hear, I am anticipating that we'll have two other harbor area parcels rezoned, or at least part of one subdivided and rezoned. But that's not gonna happen before December the 6th.
Right.
So.
What about also including,
Was it 1920?
No, it's
the
not.
proposed corridor, 642.
Yeah,
I mean, that can be, we have the drawing on it, that can be put in there in, dotted lines or something.
that's the HD, there's a
Yeah.
overlay district.
No, no, no.
entrance.
The new road.
Oh, the new road, yeah,
Right.
yeah, but the zoning on the new road is gonna be that overlay district to protect the corridors. I mean, that's the whole thing that the board of supervisors and town council is trying to work out.
Right, this doesn't,
No, I'm sure there's.
that doesn't.
Part of, yeah,
this count.
part of it's in the overlay district and part of it's in the
Right,
commercial.
Right.
It splits the commercial flood.
I understand that, but I mean, it's not in there, and I mean, somebody's gonna say, well, why don't, they're working on it, because we know what they're gonna put in there, so why don't you just kind of just
Dotted line and.
dotted line in there and
Right there.
Yeah, because if you look at that, what's in there, that's the Dickie Foster original version of it. See the lines that are in there? That yellow that goes down there through the gate, that was the original proposed Dickie end, that's what all the arguments been back and forth about Bay Creek paying for it, that was the original proposed path versus what they did.
Oh, we've got those drawings up in the office, so that it's relatively easy to reconcile that 642 corridor. And again, the proposed zoning that looking for the future is going to be the overlay district as well, to control the types of land uses and growth. Otherwise, I think that's it as far as Councilman Bennett's substantive comments. Of course, some of his substantive comments tied to the next agenda item.
Well, you know what?
What's that?
Is this, that's Bender's Lane right here, so I guess it probably does go now to 184. This little,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that most of that road corridor is in town. Then maybe some of it again that just bends over past the.
barely, it might be the acceleration line. It's probably-
what is that property zone there that?
Yeah.
What is that, what is that aqua stuff?
It's actually different than that. You've got high-density building on one of the lots right there at
The western lot,
the western lot, and then the east one is,
still R3,
sorry, 3. The
but
other
that's
one's
the
high-
big level.
That's the deal, the guy that over Hunter made a deal with the town, that gave him the property if they changed it to high-density building, where the Kentwells are. So it's still that way.
Yeah, because he's still got the thing for sale out there, right?
Yep.
It's like 15 lots or something.
So,
Yeah.
So it sounds like, looking at the next item on the agenda, it sounds like this could be just a review for council. We're not gonna get any agreement because it's gonna take more than that long to go through all those documents and validate them.
To council's credit, they recognize that that review process is not timely compared to the desired timetable to adopt the plan.
But in reality, those documents that you're referring to, we have the current comp plan,
Right.
2009.
Right.
That is the major document.
Right.
And anything from that date on that we've used, we could include.
Mhm.
And we could throw out anything below, before that.
Only if it isn't preempted by something more current. If it's older than that and still the only reference, we've got to keep it because we need that content.
Well,
Unless something,
And it should be an eye catcher for us to update it, or whoever the owner of the document is to update it, and get it up to spec. Because I don't think we just arbitrarily drop that stuff there, we put it in for a reason.
yeah, there's some stuff that could just, because it disappeared, or it's been done, or whatever.
Yeah, sure, absolutely, that makes sense.
it's
yeah.
not like this, the old document, when you get a final approval on the new comp plan, that the old comp plan is gonna go bye-bye. I mean, it's gonna still be
Well, this
archived or something.
Put a place on it, or it'll be archived.
Yeah, I mean, so if somebody wanted to go back and review something, they have it. You know,
Right,
it's just like
right.
when they did the 2009 comp plan, they had, I mean, a massive, we saw that, you know, it was massive, how much, and then they, Joan et al. Whittled it down to, you know,
Yeah, right.
so, which has got a lot of history in there.
Absolutely does, right. We'll do what makes sense.
And again, I'm proposing that some of these in 5D be either retired, they be updated, or they be whole or in part, or they be left as is, and continue to be contributing documents. Historic District Review Board reviews the Historic District guidelines that they've been doing, and are nearing completion. That's by way of the ordinance, that's their purview. The documents since the 2009 plan was adopted, at least in the reference section of section 5, that's enumerated in the 5D staff report. The healthy places, healthy people, healthy places, euphemistically referred to as walkability studies, 2012. The preservation plan from 1996, a lot of that's been incorporated into the Historic District guidelines and the zoning ordinance already. The 2020 transportation plan has been superseded, in 1999 has been superseded by other plans. There are a number of very good ones, some that have been put out by VDOT, some that are put out by ANPC, and PDC. The accessory unit study, even though it's 10 years old, it's still a very good study of accessory dwelling units in the town. So that one can be looked at, updated, readopted, if you're so interested. Some are going to be more work. The Harvard Conceptual Master Plan and Design Guidelines is probably going to be more work. There was a lot of work that brought it into being in the first place. The sidewalk and curb assessment is something that staff should be generating on a regular basis and updating. So, community trail master plan, or master plan, the trail plan is being implemented even as we speak. So that perhaps is going to take some tweaking, but perhaps not a major rewrite, because there's already commitments to the different phases of it. So some of this isn't really, it's not really as daunting as it looks. And I propose, at least in December, that the 1996 preservation plan be looked at, and again, not as by way of a page-by-page, line-by-line public reading, but just conceptually, what's this document about, what's it asking, what is it proposing, the solutions, and have those things done in whole or some part.
Well, maybe that's the venue where we decide what do we want to keep, what do we want to say is superseded by something else that's already in the plan, and what do we want to put on our to-do list to work through to bring it up to spec. Yeah, okay.
Otherwise, everything would be archived. I mean, the documents
Yeah,
are retired, archived, disappear.
Right, yep,
They're going to
understood.
in digital format,
Yep.
and still be accessible, still be somewhere on the website, but not necessarily indicative of things that are still consulted on a regular basis as far as any kind of future planning is concerned. And that's what I've got. I didn't answer any questions about that.
No, I'd have some food for thought at such time as the updated plan update is finally signed and put into effect, we ought to calculate the time from the expiration of the previous one to that time and start forward on the next update. Because I didn't see anything like, we didn't all leave for campaign and election for 6 months. I didn't see any real major delays in all of this. It's just like one thing after another that could well come back the next time we go through this process. And so try somehow or other to marry up with the end of the one that's about to happen so that we don't fall into this ever-recurring cycle of, if something could happen the 1st of December, more property hand in hand, that we want to keep on doing it. And so in a sense, we just might want to take whatever goes through it and start marking up right away, making notes and reminders and things, sort of to keep it, expedite the next time around. But just some
No,
thought.
from a staff perspective, I completely agree. I'd rather do this in manageable bites and bring it to the commission in manageable bites.
Yeah.
We seem to work well that way.
There's a lot of things they've already fallen through the crack because we've done them, but maybe they're taken out because it's not new and it's in the plan we're about to do, and things like that, Okay, just food for thought.
No, I appreciate it. And again, I'd rather bring these things one section at a time. As something changes, as conditions change relative to a section, I'd rather bring that section for revision and then ultimately council and public hearing rather than be 3 years in the making.
Any other comments on the comprehensive plan before we move on to elections?
I will get this revised and back to you.
Okay.
Probably before Thanksgiving.
Anybody want to make a nomination or two?
They do it.
I make a motion, we keep the slate as we have it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Do you accept?
Yes.
I do too.
That's 10 seconds back.
One question, who seconded Bill's motion?
Was there a second? Andy.
This is easy, guys. Libby, do we have any announcements? Do I have a call to adjourn?
I make a motion to be adjourned.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Who's done, guys?